I would request Honorable Minister Garu to stay on the stage for a few minutes. We'll do a quick photo op with all of the partners. I would also invite on stage Jayesh sir, Raghunandan sir, Rama ma'am, J. Satyanarayana sir, of course, Dr. Inder Gopal, and all the use case partners, the data providers, Telangana State Development Planning Society, Krishi Tantra, Agriculture Department, and the India Meteorological Department. And the use case partners Napanta, One Money, Nairuti, the Agri Collaborative.
Startups and to the data providers and to everybody. It's a pleasure, honestly, to be a part of this esteemed gathering. Unfortunately, our Honorable Minister for Agriculture, in fact, had conveyed to me that he could not join because of some pressing engagements back in his district. So, on behalf of him as well, I would like to greet you and I'd like to acknowledge his respects to all of you as well. Agriculture, as you all know, in fact, has been one of our most important and priority sectors in the state of Telangana in the last 9 years, ever since the state came into being. More than 56% of the state, actually, as a population, if you look at it, is dependent directly on agri and allied sectors for their livelihoods. An estimated 60 lakh farmers with an average land holding size of 2.27 acres cultivate nearly 50% of the state's geography, almost 1.4 crore acres of land. Given the importance of food and allied sectors, it is important for Telangana and for all of us to ensure technological penetration into this sector is made as much possible, and ensuring that these interventions affect every single farmer to improve and benefit the way they go about doing their job. In fact, our Honorable Chief Minister, he himself is a farmer. He comes from a family of land holding family, and it's again a family that has been involved in farming for a very, very long time. So he understands the nuances. He understands the challenges that an Indian farmer faces in today's world. So whenever we go to him, each and every time, me, Jayesh, or any of us for that matter, go to him, or Raghu Garu, any of us, our Agri Minister, we go to him and when we are always excited when we hear things like a data platform, a framework, and a data exchange, a first of its kind, etc. So we go to him with all exuberance. The one question he has unfailingly always is, how is this technology actually going to help a man on the ground who does not understand a single line of code that gets written, who does not understand technology, who does not understand the word startup? How is this going to help him achieve better utilization out of what he does on a day-to-day basis? So let me just give you quickly 3 or 4 things that have happened in the state of Telangana, which is now led to this very good problem for us to have. Telangana was, subject to correction, was ranked, I think, 24th in terms of our agri output when the state was formed. In fact, we were ranked 15th, I think, in paddy production back in 2014. But now, as of this year, we are ranked number 1 in the country, surpassing Punjab and Haryana in paddy production. Now, how did this happen? This happened because of a bunch of things, especially because of our Honorable Chief Minister's tenacious efforts. The first and foremost thing he has done, if you look at the topography of Telangana, it's very unique. We have 2 lifelines, the rivers, running at almost 80 meters and 100 meters above sea level, while the entire terrain of Telangana, the entire farming lands of Telangana are much above, 200 meters, 300. In fact, the highest is about 670 meters. The only way for us to be able to tap, the water which goes unutilized into the ocean is to be able to lift this water from a lower level, lower ground level, and lift it all the way up to a higher ground level. And that's exactly what we have done. We have built, we keep hearing about how the Chinese engineering capabilities are so good that they can get things done quickly. But let me tell you, my friends, I don't know how many of you know this, especially those of you who are from out of town. Please pull out your phone and Google the world's largest lift irrigation project. It is the Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project in our own country, in my state, Telangana, which we have built flat in 4 years. Now this is a record of sorts that most of us do not know. There's one single project where we lift water at about 80 meters above sea level from river Godavari and take it all the way through multiple stages of lifting, powered by mega pumps, of course, utilizing massive amounts of electricity without a question. We lift it all the way to 618 meters to the highest reservoir that we have built, about 50 kilometers from Hyderabad. Now, what has this project done? What this project has done essentially is, like I said, it spans, it's a massive project, it's the world's largest. It cuts across 13 rural districts of Telangana and utilizing a canal network of more than 1800 kilometers, canal network which includes both tunnels and surface channels. This one project single-handedly has turned the fortunes of Telangana, resulting in our state becoming a leader in agri production today. Not only this Kaleshwaram project, but today I'm also happy to share with you the arid, dry region of Telangana, the southern Telangana, which is Mahbubnagar, primarily Mahbubnagar district, the erstwhile Mahbubnagar district, was a parched area. In fact, it was known as a district with all migrant labor, where every single year, unfailingly again, about 14 lakh Mahbubnagar young men and women would migrate in search of better livelihood because there was no water. They would travel to every construction site in the country, and the popular word that was used to recognize them was Palamuru labor. They were called labor or construction workers from Palamuru, which is also known as Mahbubnagar. In fact, Mahbubnagar was one of the most backward and parched districts in the entire country. In fact, if you look at the top 10 most backward states, most backward districts in the country, Mahbubnagar again always was there in the top 3 or top 5, which is a dubious list, I know, but it was always there. That's how bad things were. 14 lakh people migrating from this district and backward region, not because the people aren't hardworking, not because there isn't enough land, purely because there was no source to cultivate those lands, or purely because there was no water. Now today I'm happy to share with all of you. Just yesterday we got the clearance, the environmental clearance, for another massive lift irrigation project called as the Palamuru Rangareddy lift irrigation project. This is going to change the fortunes of this entire landscape of about 3 erstwhile districts in Telangana called as Mahbubnagar, Rangareddy, and also Nalgonda. All this will result in more of agri-produce and more of horticulture products coming our way in days to come. The reason why I mention this is because today Telangana has a unique challenge. We have a problem of plenty. We procure every grain of paddy that is produced in the state, unlike any other state in India. No other state in India procures every single grain that is produced at MSP by the farmer. So what does this do? While it's good for the farmer, there are a number of interventions I can tell you about. We are the only state in India which provides 24/7 free power to our farmers. We have more than 30 lakh borewell connections which basically take up a lot of this free power. Every year, we spend nearly 12,000 crores of Indian rupees, 1,000 crores per month, purely on one single thing, and that is free power to farmers and farming sector. Besides free power, we also ensure, our Chief Minister, in fact, has become the first Chief Minister and first public representative to have come out with a very novel scheme of providing farm input assistance to our farming community. I am very proud to say this. A unique initiative called as Raitu Bandhu, which provides a farm input assistance of rupees 5,000 per acre per crop cycle. I mean, if you take 2 crop cycles, it's 10,000 rupees per acre per annum. We are the only state in India which has directly deposited 73,000 crores of Indian rupees into the accounts of about 70 lakh farmers in the last 7 crop cycles. We're the only state that has done that. Not only farm input, we are the only state in the world, not India, in the world, to be providing a life insurance to the farmer of 5 lakh rupees in the event of an unfortunate death, even if it's a natural death. We're the only state in the country that actually deposits a sum of 5 lakh rupees into the nominee's account within a matter of 10 days, and this is powered by LIC. I can go on. We have ensured that we are the seed capital and seed bowl of India. So we provide seeds at an appropriate time. We also have ensured that the fertilizers are made available. We've also ensured that sustainable practices have also been introduced to our farmers, and we provide abundant water supply. What has this resulted in? This has resulted in 5 different revolutions unfolding in rural Telangana. Some of you, those who may be surprised because you may not have heard about this before, let me tell you, these 5 revolutions are unfolding in the hinterland of Telangana. The first, of course, is green revolution. Like I said, we are now the state that leads the country in paddy production. Our cotton quality is the best in India compared to the cotton of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat. Our cotton quality is the best. This is not me saying it. The Southern India Mills Association has come forward, has done some research and has certified that Telangana's long staple cotton is the best. Of course, they've given us a couple of advices. They said you have to reduce the contamination because you're using gunny bags. They also advised us to brand it so that, in today's world, everything is PR and branding. So they said you have to brand it and sell it better. We're also going to do that. The green revolution that has been ushered in Telangana is truly tremendous, and we are super proud. The second revolution that has also unfolded is the blue revolution. I was in Minnesota a few years ago meeting the governor there on some occasion. I'm also the Minister for Industry, besides being the Minister for IT. So I was telling the governor, Minnesota is called the land of 10,000 lakes. So I told this governor, I said, we have more than 46,000 lakes and tanks in my state. He was zapped. He said, really? I said, yes. So not many people knew that the lakes and tanks, which are because of the undulating topography and which were necessitated back in the day because water could not be brought up, have been the mainstay of agriculture and farming in Telangana. And after the state formation, we have focused on strengthening these tanks through a program called Mission Kakatiya. The reason why I mention this is because lakes and tanks have dual benefits. One, of course, they add to the agriculture capacity of agriculture expansion. And secondly, of course, they also recharge the groundwater. And thirdly, most importantly, they're also havens for fish culture. So today, Telangana is the #1 state in inland fisheries in the entire country, which has ushered in a blue revolution. Now, the third revolution I'll also tell you about is another very interesting intervention. A white revolution. Now, what is white revolution? We all know dairy. Now, every farmer in Telangana, like I said, when I mentioned the number, the land holding is very small. So when Prime Minister talks about doubling the farmer's income, how is it going to be doubled? It is going to be doubled when you are able to give them farm input, when you are able to give them a lot of interventions, support through a lot of interventions, and also add all the allied sectors and make sure that additional income that comes to the family in the form of dairy, in the form of poultry, etc., augments the base income. That's exactly what we have done. We give an incentive of 4 rupees per litre if you supply milk to our government dairy, the Vijaya dairy. As a result, today, the government dairy, which was in losses when we took office, has now started giving us a dividend of more than 30 crores every year because it has now turned profitable, helping both, creating a win-win formula for the dairy farmers, for the families, and also for the company itself. That has ushered in a white revolution, creating more income, more employment opportunities, and more business opportunities, of course, in the form of dairy products, etc. The fourth revolution I'll tell you about is a pink revolution. Now, Telangana government also has started focusing on sheep rearing and encouraging sheep rearing. We have started a program through NCDC, and as a result, we spent nearly 11,000 crores of rupees. Today, our livestock population has doubled, highest for any state in the country, resulting again in 2 things. One, of course, additional income for the sheep rearing communities in the rural areas, and also in meat processing opportunities, which is basically pink revolution. And the fifth revolution that we are focused on, we all know the edible oil consumption in India currently is all dependent heavily on imports. Now we want to change that. We want to be the torch bearer in India. So therefore, we have started promoting oil palm in a big way. That is the yellow revolution that we are trying to usher in. The target is ambitious. In the next 5 years, we want to see 20 lakh acres of Telangana's farmers cultivating oil palm. And we are offering massive incentives and subsidies, etc. And of course, as you all know, oil palm also allows for intercropping. So till such time as the oil palm comes up and starts paying off, you can also use it for intercropping and making subsistence. So all these 5 revolutions, the green, the blue, the white, the pink and the yellow revolutions, are going to usher in more prosperity and more opportunities in the rural Telangana. Therefore, this becomes that much more important. Therefore, the opportunities to come in with tech interventions, the opportunities to leverage data and provide useful tools for farmers to also improve their projects. You mentioned, Sir Satyanarayan Garu, Sagu Bagu. Now, Sagu Bagu is a project we do with the World Economic Forum. Sagu Bagu is, in fact, in English, if I have to say, it was named, I think, AI for AI. Agriculture Innovation through Artificial Intelligence, or Artificial Intelligence for Agriculture Innovation. Now, this is what is the need of the hour. When Satyanarayan Garu said, data is the new oil, of course we've heard it before. But what I liked in what he said, that old oil is going to end someday. It is going to be gone someday, fossil fuel. But this new oil, that is the data, the more you load in, the better it is. Because the outcome of machine learning, the outcome of artificial intelligence is based on how much data they have. Predictability, analytics, everything else that comes with it is a factor of how much data there is and how valuable inputs we can actually, create out of this. And I'm delighted that, this project today, especially, the ADeX and ADMF have, after painstaking efforts from all the stakeholders, thank you to each and every one of you, Rama Garu, Satyanarayan Garu, Professor Garu, everybody, the Agriculture Department and to the IT Department, my compliments to all of you. I'm delighted that I was able to launch it in front of all of you. Some of the projects that we have done in the past have also been quite useful, have been path-breaking. We also had done a project called as Data in Climate Resilient Agriculture. One of the things I'm constantly, because I represent a rural constituency where the farming is expanded in a big way like everywhere else in Telangana. One of the things that always bothers me, now with climate change becoming a norm, but climate change really becoming a huge challenge for all of us, cutting across our cities, which are now, where we see urban flooding every so often. Climate change has also resulted in, unseasonally, hailstorms for farmers, affecting their crops, floods, in some cases flash floods, cloud bursts. So all these things, when I see them, I keep thinking, how can we use technology for betterment, better planning, better predictability? Because, the more data we have, the better, in terms of our awareness, our preparedness, in terms of handling any such disasters. So we have done some good work on that front as well. Now, we have also done several other things which I can tell you about. But I think today I'm really proud that the team together has worked and kick-started this agriculture data exchange platform, which is India's first, I'm told, digital public infrastructure in agriculture. I think they deserve a big round of applause for that. Now, with the onset of new AI use cases such as generative AI, there is an immediate need for the availability of large, standardized data sets and APIs for the farmers and agriculture industry in India to benefit from this growth in technology. ADeX as a platform provides an interface where peer-to-peer data sharing can be enabled, not just between users in Telangana, but also for developers from across the world to work on solutions that benefit farmers here in the state of Telangana and also by extension in India. The platform also works in a way to ensure personal data is protected and that there is transparency in the data exchange, and I think that's extremely important. Whenever we talk about a data exchange, whenever we talk about large data sets, there is always the concern of privacy, there's always the concern about consent. And I'm delighted that you've actually showcased it here, that there is public data sets, there is private, there is with consent, etc., etc. I think that is extremely important. My compliments to you guys on that as well. Making sure, that the partners who are ready with these solutions, like Satyanarayan Garu said, from 5-5-5 to 50-50-50. I think amplification and user cases, helping us, because ultimately